Hello guys, and welcome yet again to another Salwyns guide. Today we're having a look at Ahri. This game is not going to be that long. It's not going to have any real team fight style player or awesome ganks or anything, but one of my friends told me I need an Ahri guide, and I said I'll have a look at it, and now I had a look at it. This game actually took me back to no, not back to, up to 1600. I don't play that much ranked anymore because you have to fucking carry. Like 8 out of 10 games you have to carry everything on your back, and I really don't like that anymore. I used to. I'm a very competitive person. I don't like losing, which is why I rage. It's a problem, but I rage whenever I play ranked and people are feeding. Then I get angry, and that is one of the reasons why I don't play that much ranked anymore. But he did say he needed a guide, and well, I aim to please. So here we got the Ahri guide. I start boots 3 pots. You should know that by now. I always start boots 3 pots mid lane, unless I'm, for example, Rise against a Vladimir, for example, mid lane. Then I'll start with the mana crystal. Anyway, my build, as you can see, I got 50 MR. I'm running very high MR because I'm against a, the Cassiopeia. And Cassiopeia is known for her very high burst damage at level 2, 3, and then at level 6 as well. Throughout the game, really, but the surprising moments are level 2, because she got her QE combo, she can get a lot of damage off there. And at level 6, where she can get her ultimate off. Now, what you want to remember about Ahri is she is an extremely strong laner. I mean, she doesn't have that awesome wave clearing potential, but she does have a lot of burst damage to put out. So while we are in here in the start of the game, let's just have a look at the abilities. We got the passive. Ahri gains a charge of essence theft whenever one of her spells hit an enemy, max 3 charges per spell. Upon reaching 9 stacks, Ahri's next spell has 35% spell vamp. I should really remember to breathe from time to time. Anyway, Ahri's Q, orb of deception. Ahri sends out her orb, dealing 40 plus 6. Not that great scaling, but whatever. Magic damage, and pull it back, dealing 40 plus 6 true damage. Now, true damage is not holy damage, or damage of the gods or whatnot. It is simply damage that is not mitigated by defenses, so it surpasses things like magic resist or armor. Whatever scales against it, it surpasses. That is why it's true damage. It is the damage you see on the spell. So this would actually do 40 plus 7 on the return. Anyway, Lee Sin coming in here for a little bit of harass. I just come up, try to get some damage, and I'm not quite in range. But I do tell Lee Sin good job, because it forces Cassiopeia to pop yet another healing potion, so I'm ahead by 2 at this point. And against a lane like Cassiopeia, that is really a good thing, because she pushes really hard right off the bat. And I just wanna sit pretty easily, because I can't really wave clear that aggressively at this level of the game. My Q doesn't do that much damage. My auto attack's not really that strong. Anyway, if we have a look at Cassiopeia here, she doesn't have any ability power. She has 3 AD runes. No resistance. I'm not really sure what the balls she's doing, but whatever. But that is one of the things you might want to do whenever you come into a mid lane, or a top lane, or a bottom lane. You wanna like quickly just have a look at the enemy. Just click on them, then you can see. All right, she doesn't have defensive masteries, so she's definitely 21, or maybe not even 21, because she doesn't have the ability power. So yeah, this one I can't decipher. I'm really not sure what the balls she's going with it, but whatever. Lee Sin coming in there. We have Gangplank, so I just want to play this safe. Try to save Lee Sin. Throw up the charm on Gangplank to make sure he can't pursue, but Lee Sin going a really weird route here. Whatever, I'm not really sure what he's doing, but there is nothing I can do to help this. I mean, Gangplank is double buffed and he's way higher health than me at this point. I'm low mana, so I just stay in lane and try to shove it to make Cassiopeia return to the lane and give up the chase or the potential gank on bot lane. And of course give me some free farm, because I don't like to farm against Cassiopeia. Anyway, we were talking about the abilities. Ahri releases three Foxfires. After a short delay, they lock on to enemy champions, nearby enemies, whatever. Prioritize the champions, dealing 40 plus 9 magic damage. Additional Foxfires that hit the same target deal 50% damage, which is half, for those of you who don't realize. Max damage 80 plus 18. So, in lane, I like when you play Ahri, you want to keep in mind, am I good at hitting skill shots? Because if you are, the Q is definitely the best choice in any situation. You deal more damage to champions because you got the true damage. You clear waves better, which means you can look to gank other lanes. And with your W, you don't have that much damage, but you are secured the hit if you are near the enemy champion. So if you don't really feel confident with your skill shots, you might look to max W first. However, you want to go 2 in Orb of Deception, 3 in Orb of Deception, like max them side by side if you want to go for the Foxfire first. You don't want to completely neglect Orb of Deception because you need it to push the lane, and it does a good amount of damage as well. So even the chance of hitting that Q in a fight with someone is really worth the points. However, you might want to level up Foxfire first to maximum if you don't really like doing those skill shots. Anyway, I'm about to base here, not really sure why. I'm probably just gonna get double Dorans. The build I usually do with Ahri is if I'm doing really good in lane, I buy instantaneously Hextech Revolver. I wait until I have 1200 golds, then I base and get Hextech Revolver. If I'm not doing too great, if I'm not the stronger champion in the lane, I will go double or triple Dorans into Hextech Revolver. Simply because it gives you that survivability and that spam ability on your abilities. Holy yeah, I said abilities or bendinations. Yeah, right, I did it. Oh, that word a lot there. Anyway, but I hope you get the point. If you're not stronger, just make sure you can force them away from your tower, make sure they don't come to your tower, and make it easier for you to farm. Anyway, let's have a look at the CS here. Currently I'm ahead by 4 against a Cassiopeia. I'm pretty happy with that. As you can see there, the Q doing pretty decent amounts of damage already at level 3. So that's really looking good for me. Oh shit, we were looking at the abilities, holy shit. Alright, so her E, Charm. Ahri blows a kiss, dealing 60 plus 20 magic damage and charming the first enemy it hits, causing them to walk harmlessly towards her for 1 second. During that time they also have reduced movement speed by X amount. It doesn't really say on the tooltip, but whatever. One thing you always want to do when you're a mid laner, you want to get the wards down. You want to get a ward down here or up here, depending. I like to place it here because the jungler can come from this direction, and if your bot lane doesn't ward here, then he can sneak in behind you. But my bot lane wards here. I still place it here just to be safe. It's safer if you have to run up here. You risk the chance of getting caught. The second ward can be placed there. I prefer to place it up here, just so that I can see when the jungler comes from the wraiths into the lane. But in this case, I saw Cassiopeia was missing, and I didn't know where Gangplank was at this time. I think he was there, but I didn't look at the ward at that time. So placed it there just to be safe. Now we know they're right here. I'm just waiting for my jungler to come in. And there we go, the Cassiopeia ultimate. That is why I didn't face check it. And now just make sure we can deal as much damage as possible. In this case, I use my ultimate to get right on to Cassiopeia. Her ultimate is already down, so I can use it to simply just make sure I hit her instead of Gangplank. What you want to do in team fights is you want to use your ultimate to scoot around the outside of the fight. Let's take these minions for example. If this is the team fight going on here, you want to use your ultimate. You want to use your ultimate to go around the side here and shoot your Q in over your charm, your W, whatever. So just like ultimate this way. Make sure you're in range so that it also hits the champions, but you ultimate this way and try to get a Q across as many champions as possible. Then you Q again, or ultimate again, and W and whatnot. Like, just make sure you're at a safe enough range so that you can get away, but still doing max amount of damage. I mean, Ahri does have pretty decent ranges of most of her abilities. However, the ultimate range is not that fantastic. So you want to keep that in mind. Don't ultimate into people, ultimate besides them. Much like you do with the... oh, what was it? Kassadin. You want to clip your enemies. Except on Ahri, you can clip them from a further distance. Anyway, I look to do a gank down bot here. But Corki wants to go base, so I just quickly give up that idea and go over to clear the wraiths, because I see Lee Sin going into their jungle. He's in the top part, so he's not going to clear this wraith camp. That means I get a little bit of free farm right there, while Lee Sin is doing other things. So that's also a good thing, or a good way to get a little bit ahead in lane. Anyway, at this point we got 4 points into the Orb of Deception, 2 points into Foxfire, because Foxfire does deal a pretty decent amount of damage. So you want to always keep it in mind. You can just go straight to 5 on the Orb of Deception, but I like to just more or less keep them running side by side. I always aim to max my Orb of Deception first, because I hit my skill shots pretty often. I mean, I feel like I got about 80% hit percent, whatever, whenever I use my Q. So I like to max that first, because it is the highest damage ability due to the true damage, and it clears waves really well. So I like to max that, then max my W, then max my E, or obviously max my R before my E, because you get your last points in R at level 16 and your last points in E at level 18. But you get my meaning here. Anyway, the second time I went back to base, I picked up the Sorcerer's Shoes, and this is because, as we noted before, Cassiopeia doesn't have that much resistance. She has 30, and if you have a look at my thingamajig here, I have 29 spell penetration. So all of my abilities, not only the second return of the Orb of Deception, but all of my abilities at this point are doing true damage. True damage again being damage that is not mitigated by defensive stats. So if you're against a laner that has only 30 or whatever, 33 perhaps, magic resistance, you want to get those Sorcerer's Shoes early, because dealing true damage in a trade is really strong, no matter who you're against. If you can put true damage onto them, it's gonna really do good work. Of course, if you get against Morgana, she will lifesteal up or spell vamp, whatever. But like overall, dealing true damage is always preferable. Anyway, again, warding over here, since I do have this ward up here. Still want to make sure I don't get ganked from this direction if he comes down up here. Now cannon wards, but still, just so that I know. Always make sure you're safe. You can see the wards on both sides. I can push to turret if I so please. But in this game I choose to play it rather defensively. And that is because this is a ranked game. I don't want to take any unnecessary chances. I just want to win my lane, and that way be able to win the game by carrying the team. My team doing pretty good though. I mean, we're 3-0 ahead. So I'm actually for once not getting that absolutely retarded team that you normally get around the rating which I'm at. So really looking positive here. Looks like Graves has a ward down bot lane, so nothing really gonna happen there. But I do see Gangplank coming in here. Now you can see the combo. The E to make sure he's right there, and then the WQ across him, and then I just ignite him, and then start ulting right beside him. As you saw, or if you didn't see, just turn back. When he got near Cassiopeia, I didn't ulti right on him. I ultied a bit to the side of him, make sure it still hits, but make sure I'm far enough away that I can still disengage the fight, and that way get away from Cassiopeia. As you saw, her ultimate goes off. I do not get stunned. I do get slowed, however, but that is not as big a problem since I still had one charge on my on my ultimate plus my flash, so I was able to disengage from Cassiopeia after picking up that kill on the jungler. So not too bad. Now one of the things I don't do with my Ahri play is I don't keep track of this. Most of the time when I play a new champion, I always look at their abilities first off, like what does the Q, W, E, R do, and what does the passive do. But on Ahri is one of those cases where I didn't do that the first game, and because of that I haven't done it since. So I only recently became aware of the spell vamp you get whenever you hit those 9 spells. And because of that, it's not rooted in my understanding of Ahri. So what you want to do whenever you pick up a new champion, the first time you play them, read every single ability they have. Make sure you understand what does what do and how does this affect the way I'm going to be playing out my lane. Because Ahri's passive affects her lane quite a bit, because the 35% spell vamp, when you use that on the aura across all the minions, that's gonna give you a pretty healthy amount of life back. So that will like give you extra sustain in lane, which will then help you stay in lane. The only problem is in the early game you need to hit 3 charms in order to proc it. So that kind of reduces the viability of it in the early game, but still in the later game you will have that extra spell vamp at certain points in time. Perhaps I didn't really think about it because it doesn't really affect me in the laning phase, and it's not something I can aim to go for later. Anyway, I was moving towards top because I thought they might dive, but it looked like Gangplank backed off, so I went back to hold my lane. I don't want to stay out of lane for too long at any point in time, because that means you will get behind an XP and experience. Even if you get a gank, if the guy you're against just sits in lane the entire time, he is going to get ahead. Maybe not in gold, but in experience, and experience is key. If you're a level ahead, no matter what point in the game, you're going to have an advantage. As we see again here, the ward down to make sure he doesn't get any sneaks on me. The ultimate right across him here because it doesn't really matter. And I actually, I get him shot down. I take his red buff, that means he can't really gank that strongly. So, really positive for me, and again, that is the ward. I mean, I would never get that kill unless I have that ward. Of course, maybe I would have gone down to gank at that certain point in time. But the warding is important because it allows things like that to happen. As we can see, as we've seen 2 times now, we've gotten the kill on their jungler because of the ward we placed over here. Because we've been able to monitor where he's going and if we are able to kill him. So warding in mid lane. Even if you're not a support, if you play mid lane, you can play support champions mid lane, but you're not a support character for your team, but you still need to ward. Warding is hyper important in any game you play. If you play top lane, buy wards. If you play bot lane, support will buy wards. If support doesn't, support is a noob and should be banned from the game. But you get my meaning. If you're a jungler, buy wards. This Lee Sin has been doing a really good job of warding this area right here. He's probably gonna do it again, or maybe he has a cooldown. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, there we go. He wards that area. It allows us to track movement on the enemy team and have the advantage in any fight, because we have the element of surprise all of a sudden. When they come in for a gank, we know, and therefore we have the elements of surprise on our side. And when I come up to help him here, I see he gets caught, so I just want to go up and help, because yeah, why not? Anyway, I use my flash and my ultimate because I feel confident at this point in the game. I feel strong, so I don't really care if I use my flash. As you can see, the Q doing good amounts of damage there. Oh, come on, Kennen, you can do it. You can. Oh, damn it. Yeah, sadly we don't pick up anything there. I think I missed half a Q in the initial fight over here. That might have done the difference. But I mean, I never play perfect. Anyway, I see the support coming into lane here, landing an easy E on her, but sadly we do not manage to finish since Lee Sin misses his Q. So that is really sad. Anyway, going to pick up the blue. Alright, anyway, at this point we got the Will of the Ancients. And we got the double Thorns and the boots tier 2. So, depending on how the game plays out from here, you either want to go needlessly large rod because you can get extra damage, yeah! Or you want to get giant spells and Rileys because it gives slow, and that really helps you land your skill shots, the E and the Q. So you want to make a decision. Am I healthy enough? Yeah, I get caught. I'm not really sure why. Anyway, when I do good, I fuck up, and it happens. It happens to all of us. We get caught, and it's like, why did I face check that? But fuck it, it happens. So whatever. Anyway, you want to think about what do I need right now? Do I need the slow to hit my skill shots to stay alive, to be more tanky in the team fights, or do I need the damage because we are the stronger team? And right now, I'm the only death we have on the team. I feel confident that I won't get bursted in a team fight, especially because I'm Ahri. So I got that great mobility, I can stay out of the way of the bruises and the tanks. So I choose to pick up the needlessly large rod for the Rabadon's death cap. Yeah, whatever. Rabadon's death cap. Lee Sin going true man mode there. Sadly though, Gangplank did have his oranges, so no dice. Anyway, as we can see, I'm looking at this point in time. I'm looking at them because they have the health bar. Now I'm not looking at them. Now I'm looking at myself. Anyway, just going. Ahri is one of the champions that can pretty easily solo her own blue. As soon as she gets the Hextech Revolver or the Will of the Ancients, she can pretty safely do her own blue. And at a recent speed. She doesn't do it fast, but she does it at a recent enough speed. Recent enough? Whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. At a good enough speed that she can do it solo. She doesn't need her jungler to do it for her. The first blue she needs the jungler, but after that she gets to a point where she can solo it if he is doing other things like clearing the bottom jungle or ganking. She can go take it herself if her lane is pushed. So that's one of the things you also want to keep in mind. If your blue is up and you're waiting for your jungler to hand off the blue for you, just have a look at your lane. Is it pushed? Do you have the time to go clear it yourself? Because Ahri can do that. Wow, you talk so much. Yeah, I know. Oh, the sweet relief of a cool drink. Anyway, Cassiopeia. If I were to choose between playing either one of these two champions, I would most likely choose to play Cassiopeia. I feel she is a stronger laner, and I feel she is stronger in team fights. Her ultimate has a lot more utility, and her abilities have a lot more burst damage. They don't have the same amounts of AoE burst damage, but still they do have the damage. But for playing Ahri, these are the key things you need to realize. Win the lane. Max Q if you can hit skill shots, max W if you can't. What was I saying? Use your ultimate to stay on the outside of a team fight. Don't use it to go into the team fight. Just stay on the outside and shoot your skill shots and your damage through the enemy team to get max damage. Hit as many people as possible. And if you're in a position where you can push your lane and the other champion is not pushing back instantly, go look for ganks. As we saw this game, I didn't get that many ganks off, but that is a big part of that is because of Cassiopeia's pushing power. I mean, she could get right back to my tower instantly, but if you're against someone who can't do that, look for ganks. Whenever you push a lane out, just go look for a gank. Ahri is really strong in ganks because of her charm and ultimate together. So that is what you want to be looking for. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. And actually, one question you might have. I run 2109, and I run let's see, I think I ran 20 resist or 15 resist, 20 ability power, and 9.5 magic pen in this game. So that is the runes and mastery, so you don't have to ask about that. Any other questions, you can post them in the comments section, and please leave a like for the video. Thank you, and have a nice day.